Okay.
So
Kids
fun.
flew out of that thing in the end all the time.
Oh, it
I
was so
watched
fun.
it when I was there. People would fly out and land in the bark and stuff. It was on the
It was
other
completely
side.
dangerous.
They would ragdoll out, and you just see the body of like flailing, head over heels.
It was terrible.
And then land in the bark. It was in there, man.
And then we got to Kona, and that was
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the whole family. You know, we stayed with the family in Kona that
Oh,
owned
did
the
you?
park.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so we stayed there, and they were just such great, generous hosts, and so yeah, we ended up Kona.
And you guys got up to the turf, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we skated all those things. 30 days, of just like a mad dash cross country.
I was so lucky, man, because I got to do the same thing.
Ah.
And
You didn't
know,
have to
but
be in a van, locked in a van.
I didn't, man. I was flying.
No.
I was flying back. Like I know, like on the Ohio trip, did the Ohio thing, and then over to
Yeah.
Michigan, and
Yeah.
you know, through Wisconsin and stuff. But I was always taking a plane from here to there, from there over the lakes and in, and
30 days of Grand Slams
yeah.
meals. Every morning we'd wake up and Gil Losi would say, we would go to Denny's. And he said, you can have anything on the menu as long as it says Grand Slam. So I ate 30 Grand
30 days
Slams.
slams.
It was like 15 years before I could. All right?
That's a skateboard movie, right?
Oh, God. It was like
a
30
good
days of
one.
Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I sent a text today to Gil Losi Jr. and Sr. and I had Grand Slam this morning. And I said, I literally have it. It says, my therapist told me to eat a Grand Slam to get over, this is the exact text. My therapist recommend I get over my Grand Slam phobia. So I am, I'm at Denny's reliving my childhood trauma. Hashtag 1980 summer tour. What? This camera? Right here.
There you go. Back a little bit.
Now up a little bit. You can
There
still
you go.
read it.
That's funny with David in the background.
Right. So yeah. So
Like,
30 days of Grand Slams. And I was at Gil Losi Sr.'s house the other day. It was 2 weeks ago. And he said, wow. I told him the story. He goes, and Junior's laughing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
laughing. Because I said, I'll take you out to dinner. And he goes, well, where do you want to go? I go, anywhere but Denny's. And then I told him the story because he didn't remember. Junior, Senior did.
yeah.
Junior starts laughing. He goes, I know exactly where you're going, Ziggy. And I said, and so I said, anywhere but, and then, so Gil Sr., you have to know Gil Sr. to understand.
Yeah.
He says, well, would you rather not gone? And I go, no, sir. I'm glad I went on the summer tour, but you traumatized me with Grand Slam meals.
I saw some pictures of you guys getting in and out of that van with the summer tour on it and stuff, and I was just like, I didn't see Janet in the photo though. I just
No, Janet, Janet was with us.
I just saw the skaters and stuff and Patty, and I'm like, how did Patty go in there with 6 stinky ass
Oh God, it was terrible.
skateboarders?
Poor Patty. I have nothing but sympathy for her and Janet.
Yeah.
For suffering through us. I love Patty Hoffman. She's like such a great friend, and just she never got her due. She deserved a pro model. So did Freddie, deserved a pro model.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and so all those,
everybody on the team did.
Yeah, it was.
But you guys had so much talent that you guys would have had 13 or 15 pro models, and back then,
and you couldn't do it.
It was like 5 was like
I know
a lot.
I was lucky,
so
that I got one before I retired.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But no, there's no doubt about it. Hirsch brothers too. I mean, Steve got one.
Yeah.
Mikey, I don't remember Mikey ever getting one, but
Mikey
he totally
didn't.
deserved it.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
he was like a little Burt Lamar too. Like,
Yeah.
he
He could have been a lead pro for another team, right? So it's like, so it's one of those things.
Did he?
No, he could have been. He could have been a lead pro for a different team, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. The talent was deep because you got to remember, like we had Jeff Grosso was on our team.
Yeah, Grosso.
We had Lance Mountain.
I know. Dennis Martinez was on that team.
Right. So again, Orton.
Yeah,
right,
Orton too.
Right,
yeah.
and so Stacy poached Lance from us.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we had legit killers.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, that's why every time they went to a contest, everybody had to, what are the Verabots doing? And it was all because, of the fact it's like, okay, what new tricks did those guys come up with?
And then later
every
it was all
time,
Powell. Yeah.
there's just so much talent on that team that, You know, if Gresham was coming up with something new, Eddie was coming up with something new.
Yeah, I mean, all of them, think about that. Every varial, this is called a varial because Veriflex and Eric Gresham, because he invented the varial. Yeah. So it's like that's all it was.
Yeah.
About
That's typical Eric. Yeah. You know, should have been like the Gresham.
Yeah, it should have been the Gresham, right? I know it could have like the Andrew. Good branding there, Dave. Good branding.
Hey, I didn't do it, man. I did nothing. I had no idea about anything. I was the dumbest, naivest kid out there. No question.
All right, cool.
That's why I'm dying to get, like, you know, Burt Lamar on this thing so I can be like, all right, let's compare notes now. You know? Yeah.
Awesome.
That's another, like, great photo right there.
Oh, yeah, that's an awesome photo. So when I got out of skateboarding, you know,
you got a Verabots shirt on.
I do. I'm wearing a Verabots shirt. So Dwayne Peters named us the Verabots because we had no style, right? So we're just like robots out there skating. So we, you know, the whole time I embraced it. I'm like, okay, we're winning. Yeah. Right. So we're the win. You should call it. There should be the winning Verabots. In front of that. So I love that photo because you got Salba in the back playing guitar, right? Yeah. There's Grasso. Yeah. There's Losi. Yeah. Right. And then you got Christian and Steve, and behind us is Chris Weddle. Yeah. Yeah, right. Weddle. Yeah. The maker of the right. And it's the what did we rebranded Weddle Air? Yeah. So that's the founder of the Weddle Air and myself. He was a Veriflex guy. And so that's a lot of cool history in that photo going on. A lot of good stuff going on. But Veriflex guys, right? Yeah. So we have some Veriflex guys. Team Massoy Sims, and then the quintessential pal. And then you got Santa Cruz back there and Salba. It's a good photo. I like that one.
That looks like that's at the Van Skate Park.
Yeah, that was the Protect Pool Party.
Those were the best.
Yeah, they were good.
I love those things, man.
I have to thank Patty Hoffman for bringing me back in. She said, "Hey, you know, do you want to do that?" And I hadn't skateboarded in a long time, so and been out of the. Because when I left skateboarding, I was like, I disappeared. Yeah, I was gone. Yeah, bye, and I didn't come back for about 27 years.
Even though you were still out there, you just weren't in the industry as far as it goes.
No, because I went in a different industry.
Doing other stuff. That's right. Yeah,
went in a different industry.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, getting into that, I had my the Apple and Cherry Hill thing and the turf. I just was, you know, I didn't know
to all of them.
What one was the best. You know, because there's always that controversy of people saying Apple one was better than the other. I felt that for my skating style and everything else that Apple suited me the best.
Yeah, Apple's a good part.
I love their 3/4 pipe that was in there. Yep. They had that keyhole that was like perfect as well. Yep. You know, I had a better time at Cherry Hill, but as far as just because it was chaos going on every which direction. Yeah. But you know, Apple as far as skating, I just felt like it was just overall better for my skating style. You know, yeah. I mean, I had a great time at Cherry Hill. You mentioned
Huntsville.
Oh yeah, Huntsville, Alabama. I was there.
I love that park.
High Rolling
High Roll. Yeah, it was, and that place had a disco too.
Yeah. Well, that's the first place I saw fireflies. I didn't know those things were real.
Yeah.
I went out there and
Huntsville had a crazy round bowl. I saw pictures of you in that round bowl.
Yeah.
And the keyhole
at Huntsville. It was like 15 feet deep or something.
That's 3 feet of. It was a monster, right?
It was a monster.
I remember doing an Andrek tan plant in that bowl, and it was like, okay.
It felt like upland.
It was a scary bowl.
It felt like upland, but maybe like a foot deeper or longer, or like less transition or something.
It was bigger than the round bowl at Upland.
Yeah, it was definitely.
It was huge. Yeah, but they had a beautiful snake run there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think when this whole
forgot about that one.
Controversy, but it's like I don't know. I look
Getaway skate park. That was an
Getaway. The Getaway. Yeah. Yeah.
From there.
That park is fun. So the way I look at parks is that I don't go, man, you're the best. Hey, I got to skate all these places. Yeah, no. I'm a lucky dude. Yeah. You know, so I don't really compare. Everything's placed different. And for me, skateboarding is about the experience of people. Yeah. Not the thing. So it's like I look at parks and go, what kind of experiences did I have, and what were there cool people there? Yeah. because it's just terrain. I love what Tony. Everybody memorializes Del Mar.
Yeah, I know.
Right, but when you hear Tony talk about it, it's like, listen, it was a kinked out bowl.
It's terrible.
Right. But it's like, so when you look at it, it's like, oh, the legend of Del Mar.
Yeah.
No, what made all that special was the people.
Yeah,
was the people. You know, it's just Owen Nieder.
Yeah.
Owen Nieder.
Right. Owen Nieder. It's like when you ask me about like Del Mar and all the iconic crap that happened there, right?
Yeah.
I don't think of any of it.
Yeah.
I think of this. I remember one night, sun setting, there's like a tower. It's like almost like a lifeguard tower.
Yeah.
It was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Owen Nieder
Oh, shit, I
has
remember that.
a mohawk.
Yeah.
And he's all punked out, you know.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And he's doing this dance on top of this tower thing. And the sun's behind him. And I'm like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I go, that's what skateboarding is. It's Owen Nieder dancing on this thing, and this whole group of people. When it's Jeff Phillips rolling up with Craig Johnson and Tex Gibson.
Yeah.
We've never seen this. So they roll up in a station wagon from Texas. Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
Zorlak.
They pull out what is it, the beer they drink?
Lone Star?
Lone Star. They throw it on the hood, and they're like, "We're from Texas, effers!" Right? Don't mess with Texas, and they come in into this shred,
Yeah.
right? And they just shred, and we're like, "Dude, we've never seen these guys."
Well, and also Craig had the dreads coming out.
Yeah, they had dreads, and then Phillips is just like from another, and it's like, that's
Skateboarding.
That's 80s skateboarding.
Yeah.
It was that stuff that made it awesome.
Memorable.
That made it awesome, right? And so I'm like, wow. And the whole time I'm just going, I get to do this. Man, I'm in high school. I get to go on the weekends and hang around with this show of like people, and then go back to school and try and explain it.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do this weekend? I really can't tell you. Philip showed up. He's throwing beers in the parking lot. Owen Nieder's dancing on this thing. Tony Hawk's doing shit I can't even understand. Right? Ronnie Mullen's over here, and he's like, I think what he did on the ground's a 540, but I'm not sure. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh yeah, and then, T-Mag's doing crazy stuff, and I don't know. How can I explain that to you? You don't skate.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I don't know. I was skateboarding with friends. That's what I would say when I go to school. I was skateboarding with friends.
All right. So, at Del Mar, no, I mean, I totally get what you mean, though. I had some crazy experiences at Del Mar, but, that pool, the one side was just horrible. The west side wall, I guess you'd say, it had that big, huge bump in it. It barely got to vert. And everybody, if you wanted to do any tricks, you had to do it like 10 feet over where there was some vert, but...
Right.
I don't know how they really screwed that. They really screwed that thing up when they did it.
It was fun bowl,
So,
though. It was fun to
yeah.
skate. It's like,
Yeah, no, and the Kona rip-off bowl was up there too,
yeah.
And that square pool was a beast.
Yeah.
That thing was insane. The half pipe was virtually perfect.
Yeah.
At that bowl,
But no flat bottom.
Yeah, no, not really.
Yeah.
A little bit, but not really. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you had the replica, the Escondido Reservoir
Yeah.
bowl in the very back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
lot of fun.
Another interesting thing too.
I just remember highball.
Yeah.
I just remember playing highball with the Tony, Billy, and Tony Hawk, Billy Ruff, and Neil, and those guys, and we just play highball.
Yeah.
And that's where like a lot of tricks came from, that highball. Like a lot of the flip tricks came from we would be playing highball, and then we take skateboards in there and just try different things on the.
Is
highball.
that what's happening? Is that how? Because I remember Tony Hawk did that. That's what made me quit skateboarding, is when he did that third try right in front of me, the finger flip backside air.
Yeah, a lot of those guys.
He makes that, and the next.
I just remember we play highball, and then we practice. Some of the guys would practice tricks on the trampoline,
Yeah.
and I'd see some of the stuff they did on the trampoline highball, because that highball was a game where it's like basketball on a trampoline, section thing. But people are not going to understand what highball is.
We'll put a picture.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah.
I'll understand.
Yeah, and
highball,
so
you know, I
so
mean,
yeah, so
it's
yeah,
on a trampoline. You throw it like a
yeah,
basketball.
yeah, like a basketball.
Yeah, it's like a
you
basketball
score.
on a trampoline.
Yeah, so yeah, it was highball.
So
Some of the tricks actually came from the highball.
So if you had your timing right, no one would score.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, highball. I just remember highball.
yeah, that's funny. I remember all the international people would like spend the night in those things
Yeah.
and sleep. That
And
was
sleep
like
on it. It was a good place to sleep.
There's a lot of people that
Yeah.
slept in those highballs over the years,
Oh
man.
yeah,
They were more like freak bedrooms
yeah, they were great.
in those things.
Cool.
And next door was the tennis courts to take showers and stuff. So
Yeah.
a lot of homeless skaters would end up there.
We were the original homeless people.
They were like, yeah, exactly. They were like the original ones. So anyway, all right. So as far as it goes, like, do you have anything else you want to talk about in skateboarding? As far as it goes, any thank yous, shout outs,
gosh.
anything like that?
Oh my gosh, there's okay.
You know,
I'm just thankful that I get to call this generation, the generation, the 80s skaters, my friends, because you're right. There was no recording of us.
Yeah.
There was no, all this is lost.
Yeah.
Everything, every single thing that's done by somebody nowadays is recorded, right?
Everything, yeah.
And so this whole generation was lost. And I'm just thankful that when I go to like things like the Elgato Classic and I see like Steve or Tony or you,
Yeah.
that we look at each other and we have a knowing of what we did together.
Yeah.
And there's this respect of like, we did that. And we really appreciated each other and what we brought to this beautiful sport. And so that's all that really matters to me is the fact that if I can walk in a room and I can see those guys and they're like, hey, Ziggy, right? And that makes it awesome.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank everybody. Everyone, including all the people that support us. We were able to skateboard because people bought boards. We're able to skateboard because people supported the sport and our teams that we rode for. And so I thank everyone that really supported us and still does by watching this podcast. So that's who I want to thank. But I can't talk about skateboarding. I'm connected to the Losi family.
Yeah.
Janet Losi was like another mother to me. Gil Losi is like a father to me.
Yeah.
He's like a father figure, Gil Losi Sr. Yeah, so I grew up with that whole Patty Hoffman, and so when I think about Eddie, just really showing, us, things that we're capable of, and then Eric, who's just such a great person, a great skater, and Steve, just he was a powerhouse, and Mikey, and all the other people that didn't get famous, people like Kyle Lambert and Danny Jorgensen, and Greg O'Neill was a roller skater.
Yeah.
That would, give Fred Blood a run for his money, man. And so, you look at Freddie, this amazing skateboarder, and
Phil,
and Lance and Jeff, and John Lucero, he actually worked at Veraflex for a period of time.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he did some screening boards and stuff like that. John Lucero did my first graphic. He did the graphic for my. I think it was the first paid art project he had in skateboarding. John Lucero did my art for the ZIGGY board.
And that's a collector's item.
All right, so yeah,
Huge.
So I want to thank all the folks over the time. It's like, hey, listen, I made any little success I had is like my signature move was the Andrecht hand plant. And I used to stall it, so they called it a zig plant.
There you go.
And so but it was your move. And probably my greatest, one of the greatest memories was actually doing that doubles with you. And I remember when we entered that, and we won. But I remember we were at the capsule, and you were on the side, and I was on that side. And we didn't plan our routine. We planned like 4 tricks.
Right.
Like, we're gonna roll in, we're gonna carve, we're gonna do this, and then it's like. And we're gonna the thing you had to do as doubles is the thing that Hirsch and Gresham invented, which was the rock and roll on the other person's board.
Right.
So we're just like, okay, then we're gonna go on axle stalls, and it's like you're gonna one of us rock and rolled on the other.
I think we did both.
Right. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I did you, and then we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
right? And there's still time in the
Yeah.
and so
Like just get close to each other.
right. So what do we do?
Each other, yeah.
So I remember it was like this, which is interesting. So you were on that side of the axle stall. I was on this side of the axle stall, and we'd run out of planche tricks. And you looked at me like, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
Right? And I just remember looked at you and I said, "Hendrix."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you go like this, and so we both dropped, and I don't know how we didn't hit each other.
Yeah.
Crossed.
Yeah.
In the bottom, we both do Hendrix hand plants.
Yeah.
And then we will cross again, and we didn't hit each other, and then we're out. Mm-hmm. And I remember at the moment when I said it, thinking this in my brain, because as an amateur, and I'm like, and you said, well, you looked at me and I'm like, Andrew, and I'm going, and I remember thinking, that's the guy's name. It's the name of the trick we're gonna do, and I'm like, I'm doing an Andrew for David Andrew. And we're all that at the time, and I'm going, this is awesome. And so I'm like, this is great, and that's probably one of the best memories. That and I'm placing third in the Colton contest.
Yeah,
that
was awesome.
I got to give props to Mikey Smith. He won the thing. I would have loved to compete against him in that contest, but the way I had to come through the losers bracket.
Yeah,
and then taking Dwayne head on and tying him. That was something back then.
Yeah.
And so that with those two moments, because it was like my 18th birthday that day. So all things coalesced. So those things are some of my funnest moments. So I'd like to thank everybody that I ever skated with, because I've been blessed.
Awesome. Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's get on to Ziggy after skateboarding.
Oh boy.
All right. And our career.
Yeah.
And I remember you gave me this.
Oh no.
Remember that?
I do remember giving this to you.
Yeah.
That's a Fontana Station Challenge coin from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've always...
You were based out of the Fontana office?
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department's all San Bernardino County, but I was stationed, I started my career in Glen Helen, then I went to Big Bear, and then I went to Yucaipa.
Wow.
Then I went to the training academy, and then I went to Fontana as a detective, back to the jail, and then back to Fontana as a sergeant.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I remember that.
See?
I think I gave one of those to Tony Hawk too.
Did you?
Tony Hawk's got one of those.
Well, anyway, I still have it.
Thank you.
Cherish it. I thought it was super cool, and I've always held on to that.
Yeah.
Yes, because and I would like to say thank you for all that you did. How many years did you do as a sheriff?
So yeah, when I left skateboarding, I did the most punk rock thing you could do as a skateboarder. I became a cop. Right, all the tough guys like to think that flipping off a camera and getting a picture in a magazine is punk rock. No, the most punk rock thing you can do as a skateboarder is to become a cop, because that's telling the whole world, like, hey, listen, I do what I want.
Yeah.
Right. And so yeah, I became a sheriff, and that was by accident too. I had a friend that I was working for Sports Country Limited, selling skateboards for them, and a friend who had a hard time passing tests. And I did good in college.
Yeah.
And I was on the honor rolls and A students. So he said, will you help me prepare for this police exam? I'm like, okay, you're a friend. And then he said, he said, I'm really nervous. Can you come and take the exam with me?
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I'll go take the exam the same day, moral support, right? And I kind of, because I was a martial artist, I took some police reserve classes. Mm-hmm. So I found out I kind of liked police work, because you could do, if people got crazy with you.
How old are you here?
27 years old, I think, at that time. And so so I go and take the test. He fails.
Okay.
I felt bad. and I passed. Yeah. And I'm like, so they called me up. Hey, come in for your interview. I'm like, it's kind of like jumping over those barrels.
Yeah.
I did it on a bet, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And I come down and they said, all right, well, you're in the academy on this date and time. So I told Sports Country Limited, I think I'm going to be a cop. All right, I got to go through an academy, and apparently I got to do push-ups, and they yell at you a lot, and I became a cop, and so through that 26 years, I did a lot of different stuff, and I retired as a sergeant out of the Fontana Station. That was it.
How many years?
26 years.
26 years. Wow.
26 years, 3 shootings.
Yeah.
A few people tried to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're out now, because
Yeah.
This world is getting to be
It's crazy.
10 times crazier than it ever was. And
Now I teach cops how to talk to people.
okay.
So I teach verbal de-escalation for law enforcement, military, and Fortune 100, 500 companies. It's called Verbal Judo. I'm the chief operating officer of that company. It's been around 39 years. What we do is we teach people how to calm people down that are upset, so there's not a fight.
Right.
And that's needed in every part of our society. But I've taught that to cops for about 20 years. So it's very satisfying work.
So you were doing that even while you were a sheriff at the same time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I actually taught that curriculum for the state of California to cops. So I trained thousands of cops how to, So if you've ever had a good experience with a cop and he treated you nice and talked to you well, hopefully I might have had a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know when I get pulled over, man, I just hand over the information
me too.
and say,
Hey, listen, I'm just a civilian now. I'm retired, so I'm just like everybody else. Here's my license.
no, I just give it to them and be like, here it is. You could have caught me 300 times. You got me 1 out of 300. I'm not going to fight with you or anything.
Yeah, so
here you go. Have fun. Write me up and I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
so did that. Fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay. It's fun now.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had
it
your
was
ups
a great
and downs.
Yeah, it had ups and downs. It was it's a very good career, and so I'm just happy, I get to spend time with my family, and I survived the career. It's a tough career to be in. A lot of stress.
Okay. How many kids did you have? Or
3.
You had 3.
I got 3 kids, son,
Okay.
2 daughters. I've got James and Cara and Mikkel, and I got 8 grandkids.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 grandkids. It's always somebody's birthday. It seems like.
Yeah, well, that many, right?
Yeah, so
I guess I can kind of relate to that.
So I had a great compliment. I got into martial arts real heavily after skateboarding.
Right.
I was lucky to become champion, and I had one of my grandkids says like, "Hey, Papa," says like, "You're the only grandpa I know that does forward rolls with a sword in his hand." And skateboards, and still skateboards.
Forward rolls. Did you play with scissors as a kid too?
I don't know. Yeah, it's lucky. I have both my eyes. I don't think so.
So are you still teaching all this stuff then?
Yeah, I
as far
teach.
as that, right?
Teach martial arts. I'm competing in 10 days in a big karate tournament in Long Beach, and I'm stupid. I'm fat, old, and slow. But I decided to start competing in martial arts, so I did that. So competition of a different nature.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So I teach people how to use swords and Filipino martial arts. I'm a 3rd degree black belt.
3rd degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the highest?
Oh, if you're grandmaster, 10th.
10. Okay.
Yeah, 10.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So everybody out there, please don't mess with this man.
Oh no, I'm gentle and kind.
Unless you have 4 or 5 black belts. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm a gentle, kind person. Very sweet. I'll talk to you.
Yeah. I'll talk you out of it. Yeah,
I'll talk you out. I'll de-escalate you. That's what I do.
I'll plead with tears in my eyes not to mess with you.
No, I mean, honestly, you do so much stuff. I mean, you're also teaching firearms as well and doing all that kind of stuff.
I taught firearms when I was a cop. I don't do that
okay.
anymore. I shoot guns for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that. Yeah, I did that. That was fun.
Right.
That's me at the range,
Oh.
teaching some folks how to use guns safely.
Okay.
So I'm a certified firearms instructor by the Department of Justice, and
The DOJ.
yeah, Cal DOJ. I think that's I don't know.
Oh, is that what it is? It's
California Department of
Okay.
Justice, and
Okay.
teach people how to use submachine guns,
Submachine
pistols,
guns, like
subguns.
serious,
Yeah, subguns, full auto
So
guns.
full autos. Okay.
Yeah, and
Even though they're
rifles,
illegal in this
pistols.
state.
They're legal for cops.
Okay. So you're teaching cops then?
Yeah, so
Virtually.
I used
Okay.
to. Not so much anymore. I'm just teaching martial arts mostly to kids now.
Okay.
That's one of my students right there. She's cool. Her name's Alana Winland, and she's champion. So that's her with her first place. I think I got 2nd place in that tournament. And so that's my little student. She's gonna be competing in Long Beach in about 10 days.
She's going to be there as
She's
well.
in the same tournament as you?
Yeah, she got me.
That's cool.
She's my neighbor, and I decided I was getting fat, old, and slow, and you can't skate in Idaho for 10 months of the year because there's snow on the ground. I'm like, I need to get in shape, and I can't skate. There's no parks, and even if there were, there'd be under 3 feet of snow.
Okay.
So I got into martial arts again.
I gotta ask if there's snow on the ground 10 months of the year,
Yeah, it
what
seems
made
like
you decide to jump up to Idaho and
you know,
retire? Like,
California taxes.
well, that's one thing. I get that. You know, I'm still having fun with those.
Oh, yeah, California taxes. When I retired, I decided I wanted to get out of California, and so I ended up in Idaho.
Wow.
Right, and so it's yeah, there's a lot of snow, so you can't. It's not a real skate mecca.
Right.
Because like there's like 3 or 4 months if you're lucky, maybe more, of skating you can do up there, and then it shuts down. So I decided to get back into martial arts, and she kind of inspired me. So I trained her, and she's a little killer.
Awesome.
So like I'm competing again.
Well, there's been some pretty good skaters that have come out of Idaho,
Yeah.
right? I know Daxter Lucier was one that came down, and there was this guy Georgie.
Depends like by Boise in that area, it's a much more temperate climate, mild time.
Yeah, okay.
I'm in North Idaho, where I'm like an hour and a half from the Canadian border.
Okay.
So I'm there's a lot of snow.
Do you go hunting up there too?
No, I'm not a hunter. All my neighbors are, but I'm not.
Okay. I was just wondering how you.
Deers have done nothing to me, so I don't feel a need to slaughter them.
It's about winter food, man.
It's about fun. I get it. It's about food.
Fun. It's about.
All my neighbors are gonna be mad at me now.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not a hunter.
Okay.
But I do like martial arts.
All right.
So so if a deer wants to do kung fu, I'm down for that. I'll fight a deer.
Deer's gonna come hang out in my yard. He knows it's a safety zone. My neighbors can't shoot at that point.
Oh no, my neighbors will shoot him over there.
Hey, that's my kung fu cop that lives over there.
Yeah. No, they'll say they'll shoot the deer in the yard, and then they'll just say, like, you want jerky? I'm like, yes, jerky. Thank you.
As long as you're preparing it, man.
Thank you for that.
I want the smoker to be not mild hot, but so it's not overcooked.
They'll take care of me. My neighbors. I got great neighbors, Keith and PC and Shannon.
All right. Well, how do we end this? What do you? Is there any last things you want to say? Thank everybody at Upland and Dawn.
Oh yeah, so it's like in looking at everything, it's like, the Losies are obviously they're my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Stan and Gene Hoffman and really, there's so many skaters there's so many people that we owe. Our generation of skaters owe.
Yeah.
Let's start with Gail Webb.
Yeah.
Our generation of skaters owes Gail Webb more than we can ever give her. First of all, she did so many things to promote the sport of skateboarding when nobody cared, and gave so much of herself in her life. Gail Webb, legend. Stan and Gene Hoffman. It's just all the countless hours that they poured into us. They had a business, but they didn't need to do all the stuff they did.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. And their sons, Chris, and Don.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you. Frank Hawk.
Sonia did.
Yeah, I'm getting to Sonia. So okay, let's go to Sonia. Sonia Catalana. Like, just decade after decade promoting skateboarding, even when her son wasn't in it.
Right.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Usually, because if you look at it, it's like, well, why'd you do it? Because decade after decade of just, and anybody that has ever run a contest or been a contest, it's hard. And it's hard. And then, and then let's go to Frank Hawk.
Yeah. Yep.
Frank Hawk. It's like skateboarding would not be where it is without Frank Hawk. And so I am so thankful to the families, the Hawk family.
Yeah.
So yes. So it's all those folks that created this environment for us to thrive. Not just Gil, but Stacy Peralta, all those folks that poured their lives. Everybody that's involved with the sport with skateboarding now, they built that foundation.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm just thankful for them because they didn't need to do it. They didn't.
Yeah.
And we were kids. We were incapable.
Yeah.
Right. And so all these capable people, I'm thankful for. So
Like
that's
Hester.
Yes.
Hester.
Age. Yes. All those folks, I'm just so thankful for.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful for this life. When people ask me, because people from the cop world are shocked I was a professional skateboarder. People from the professional skateboarder world are shocked I was a cop, right? And all these people are, they're both equally shocked that I sang in choirs, right? So they're all shocked, but everything informed. It's like when people ask me, like, you're a little dude with the high voice, how could you be a cop and arrest felons and get shot at and all this other stuff? And I said, well, it's way easier than dropping in the square pool in Upland. Right. It's like everything in skateboarding, you're like slamming.
Yeah.
You think I was afraid to fight somebody on the street?
After
Slam from the top to the bottom of the round bowl at Upland.
hooking up on a foot plant.
Right. And it's like, I'm not afraid to fight you. Right. All that stuff that I learned is perseverance.
Yeah.
Right. Of trying to trick 1,000 times and not making it, and making it 1,001. Right. That's perseverance.
Okay. Name that trick.
Oh God.
What one was it?
Just about everything. Right. Right. But it's one of those things though. So everything, I learned so many valuable lessons in skateboarding.
Yeah.
That it translated to everything I ever did. And that's why you see so many successful skateboarders of our generation.
Yeah.
Right. They learned all the valuable lessons of life: friendship, hard work, perseverance, dedication. So yes. So, skateboarding, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, skateboarding, man.
Thank you,
100%.
skateboarding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you for having me here, Dave.
No,
Appreciate
man. Zig, it's always been, man. Thank you for coming out.
Awesome.
I'm super stoked, honored you're here.
It's the other way around, man.
Yeah, it's mutual, man.
Thanks for inventing my signature trick. It helped me out a lot.
Yeah, you just took it to another level, man. Anyway.
All right, cool.
Okay, everybody, thank you again, Ziggy. I really appreciate your time. And for everybody out there in YouTube world, just want to thank you guys. Please do me a favor and hit the like button or subscribe to us. Help us build our channel, and so we can keep on bringing in more top people. As far as skateboarding goes, we really appreciate it. Everybody out there in Twitter as well. Thank you for being here and watching us. And well, until our next show, we'll see you here shortly. I've got some really good names. We're just trying to get them booked up for us. So anyway, thank you again and have a great day.